Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of USWL Live. I'm your host, Chase Britton, and today's topics are going to be independent wrestling and contracts. Now, I don't really want to get in too deep into this. I don't want to make it too personal about me, but there's been a lot of talk on the indie scene right now about independent contracts. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole reason why we're independent contractors in the first place is because, number one, we're not on a contract. Number two, we decide where we go. The fact that there's somebody out there trying to make independent wrestlers sign a contract, it has my head in a tornado. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Now, I would be hypocritical if I didn't say at first I was on the bandwagon. They offer all these stuff. They buy your gear. They're supposed to take you places. They control your pay, so they make sure you get paid. And that's all cool and dandy. But I just can't get over the fact that there's a contract in independent wrestling. To me, it just doesn't make no sense. I mean, years ago, you wouldn't have heard about nothing like that. Now, to some people may understand it a little bit more, and to some it actually would make a little bit more sense. Now, if I was struggling on my money or if I couldn't get enough bookings, then, maybe I would think about going down that road again. But I was one of the smart ones who learned from my mistakes. I was one of the smart ones who learned from that ordeal that, it's not really all that it's cracked up to be. And to shoot you straight, I can't put into numbers or to words about how much I have seen through the years of broken promises. Someone hypes you up and they never follow through with what they say. Now, I'm not saying this is what's going on, but keep your eyes, keep your ears open, and don't really expect too much. If you can't do it yourself, I was always told, if you don't promote yourself, no one else is going to do it. Don't put your career in another man's, hands. Unless it's AEW, TNA, or Ring of Honor, or, New Japan, or WWE, etc. Now, that I can understand. You're making thousands. You're making, way more than I'm making in a week. That's the only exception. Now, somebody like me or you, what are they really going to offer you? New gear? Okay. Eventually, they're going to run out of money. They're going to need your money. They're going to need somebody else's money. It doesn't really make logical sense. I just don't understand it. They take a percentage of your pictures, your gimmicks, your t-shirts. Granted, they may buy these gimmicks and you may make a little bit of money. But in the same aspect, what are you really making? You're making a $10 here, $20 there. Maybe if you're lucky, you're at a sold out event, maybe you make $100 and the other guy's making $120. Who benefits from it? Be honest with me. Who benefits from that? When I started professional wrestling, I knew on the indie scene I wasn't going to make a lot of money. I knew that if you want to be rich, don't be an independent business. But along the way, you meet these curveball promoters. And these are the ones you want to keep your eye out on. The ones that I'm talking about make all the promises. They want to do everything, say they're going to do everything. You sign something, you agree to something, 3 years later, then you notice that nothing ever happens. Then you're back at square one. All those gimmicks, gone. All that gear you might have kept, but they got a copyright on it. You're now on their network. So now you can't really wear that stuff anymore. It's pointless. That may be the case, it may not. But you got to think about that kind of thing. You know, Ryback, for instance, he was under contract. When he left the contract, he tried to use the Ryback name. He had a cease to desist order. Anybody with legal authorities behind it is pretty much all going to be the same. You're winning first. You're going to be at ground zero. It could be tomorrow. At any point, you cannot back out of that contract as soon as you sign it. But they can quit on you? That don't make no sense. I know that from experience. Because at one point in time, I trusted that guy giving out these contracts. That's why I'm talking about it. Because I know firsthand just how much it is. Now, like I said, I'm not going to make it personal because I don't want to open that door. But just know I have experience with that. But moving on, let's talk about building a brand and sticking by it. Because going along with that contract stuff, that same guy has his own network, his own brand that he's building and he's hyping and everything else. But yeah, he goes to a local indie show and he shoots on a young kid. Next thing you know, he's blasted everywhere on the trash bag wrestlers, on everything else. Everybody's hating him. Everybody's doing this. Who does that fall back on? It doesn't really fall back on that particular guy. And if you're listening to this, you already know who I'm talking about. For those who don't, I'm not going to say the name because it just is pointless. But it's a topic, and it's a hot topic. No pun intended. But they're just, I can't wrap my brain around it. If I'm building a brand, the last thing I want to do is put myself in a position where it opens a door to negativity on that brand. If I'm the owner of the brand and everybody knows that I'm the owner of the brand, to the point where I put my logo on that promoter's card, on his poster, on his website, and then I go out there and I show myself, and then it goes viral, not only I go down, my brand goes down, and all of my guys goes down with it. Because then they're going to look at it. They're going to look that up. They're going to see who works for that. And then, you know what? They're going to say, you know, this guy's tied in with this guy. I don't want to work with him. And I'm not just talking out of my hat here. It's actually happened. This week alone, I've had 2 promoters who knows my back history with said person that has told me, Chase, you're right. We should have listened to you. But due to this thing, we cannot use his guys. So we had to back out. We had to cancel. Now, that's not my cross to bear. That's said person's cross to bear. Not only did you make yourself look bad, but now you're making it to where guys who's connected to you, now they're losing bookings and they're people's not wanting to use them because they're connected to you. So what did that prove? And to make it all worse, the guy that the said guy shot on says that he was offered a contract and he turned it down, and said person pretty much lost his cool. Now, watching the video, obviously there was a spot blown. As the veteran, you give him a tater, something. You let him know he messed up. You don't immediately shoot on him. That's not how it's done. If you're a veteran in the business and you're working a younger guy, it's your job to put that younger guy over. It's your job to make that younger guy learn what we're doing. It's your job to put them over just as well as you want to be put over. You're not out there to teach a lesson, but yet you're going to kick his teeth in? Really? Who's that going to help? If all you veterans, I don't even know what the hell that even means, but all you veterans, you get mad during a match, you're going to kick dude's teeth in, and now that guy quits, and you guys keep doing that, all that younger generation is going to be gone. And you know what happens when you guys die? Wrestling dies. No one's going to want to get into this if they think every time they get in a ring with somebody experienced, they're going to get shot on. And nobody wants to do that. That's bad business. That's bad business. If somebody shot on you like that back in the day, then I would say the same thing. Then you should have said the same thing. And you younger guys out there, I've seen it twice this week. This week alone. If somebody's shooting on you, man, throw hands back. Don't sit there and take it. Don't take it. It's making you look weak. It's making you look like you can't protect yourself. Why would you let another grown man sock you right in the nose? Makes no sense. If someone's legit trying to choke you out or trying to throw real hands at you, they're trying to take away your career, bro. They're trying to make sure you don't go to work the next day, put food on your table, go home to your kids. What if something happens, a freak accident during that? Raise your fist. Be a man. Do something. Don't just sit there and let somebody walk all over you. You want respect in this business. You're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to get it yourself. No one's going to give it to you. Nobody. That's something I had to learn the hard way. You let people walk all over you, everybody else will. There comes a time you have to man up and take what's yours. This has been another exciting episode of USWL Live. My name is Chase Britton, and thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, guys.